Hello, everyone. My name is Maria, and welcome to our training on how to manage projects with Microsoft Teams. Little bit about myself. I'm a project advisor here at Advisicon. I have a bachelor's in management information systems. I have experience managing projects in IT, software development, project online, amongst other things. I'm a skilled trainer. I've been doing training for quite a while now, and I am a Microsoft certified professional in Microsoft Project and PPM. I also do Office 365 consulting. I help companies take the Office 365 suite and implement that the best way for them and their company. And I'm also recently a Microsoft certified professional in Power BI. Um, Other tidbit about me, I own the unofficial mascot of Advisicon. Her name is Ahsoka. She is a Samoyed, and she is the fluffiest, cutest little dog you will ever meet. So today we get to talk about managing projects with Microsoft Teams. And so what we will be covering today, first off, is why use Microsoft Teams? What are you getting out of it, the benefits, new features in Microsoft Teams, and collaborating with project management tools using Microsoft Teams, how to do some file storage, and some additional features that are available to you for project management within Microsoft Teams. So let's go ahead and get started. So, why use Microsoft Teams? Well, to start out with, it's the ultimate collaboration tool. It has built in capabilities to work with OneDrive, SharePoint, so you have the ability to collaborate and communicate about your documents, your files, all of that within Microsoft Team, and then communicate about them to everyone in your company in an easy to use fashion. You also have project management friendly tools. So Teams comes with the ability to connect with the project management tools that come with Microsoft, such as Planner, Project for the Web, Project Online. It has integration with those tools so you can be managing your projects all from one application. You also have the ability then to store everything in one place. So, what comes with that integration and the collaboration means that you get to have everything in one app. So, you have the ability to access your projects, you have the ability to access your documents. Everything can be done within Microsoft Teams, which makes it a great collaboration tool and perfect for working to manage your projects. I'm just going to jump right into the demo. I love opening up the application and just getting in there to look at all of the fun bits and pieces. So, some new features available within Microsoft Teams are the company wide task list. So, recently, Microsoft has been deploying Tasks by Planner. With Tasks by Planner, you get the ability to have a task list for your use, but also for others to assign tasks to you. So here we have Microsoft Teams. I'm already jumping into my project management demo channel, but I'm going to actually switch gears here to the left navigation. So over here on our left, we can see at the bottom, I have Tasks by Planner. If you're not seeing that app, you can just go ahead and click the three ellipses here and add it. So if I was to go ahead, I'm going to unpin it from my navigation. So for those of you who don't see Tasks by Planner, you can go ahead and hit those three ellipses here and then grab Tasks by Planner. You can then choose to right click that app and then either pin or just leave it there and it'll go away next time you use something else. I'm going to go ahead and pin it. A new feature that has recently come to Microsoft Teams is the ability to do a pop out. So if I instead wanted to do right click, instead of pinning it or unpinning it, I could actually choose to use the pop out app. So if I went to the top here and clicked pop out, we would actually see the same thing we were seeing behind the app, the little pop out here. So if I go ahead and expand this, you can see all of the tasks are assigned to me. And this is an accumulation of tasks assigned to me from Planner and Microsoft To Do. So I can choose to create my own tasks to assign to myself, or I can look at all of the tasks that have been assigned to me through Planner. So you can see all of these great Planner boards here. A lot of these are demos. All of these tasks have been assigned to me through planner boards. For example, we have project planning here, verify project workflow progression. If I was to open the task here, I'd get to see all of the details of this task in that planner board. So here we've got that it's critical path. It's in my phase 3 bucket. It hasn't been started, even though it is coming up. It's a medium priority, even though it is critical path. It is medium priority compared to some other tasks. And the due date here is February 12th. So here I can see a checklist. These are all the things that you would see if you were to go to the planner board itself and open up the card. So you get all of those details available to you here through the Tasks by Planner and To Do. Another new feature available in Microsoft Teams is the Approvals app. So again, I'm going to go ahead and click that ellipses on my left navigation, and I'm going to click Approvals. Approvals is a new feature that allows you to send approval requests and receive them to people within your company. So if I wanted to go ahead and do a new approval request, I could go ahead and click this button up here that says New Approval Request. Click the plus button here, add an easy to understand name. So please approve. And then I could go ahead and enter who I would need approval from. So I could grab my coworker, David Bentz. I could grab Amy. Now they're going to have questions about what they're approving. Obviously, this just says please approve. Maybe we should go ahead and add a better description. So approve request to add a new channel to the demo team. So I could add some additional details here. Um, submitting a request, to add a new channel to the demo team as a test for a training. If I wanted to, I could add an attachment. So if you wanted to potentially submit an approval request for an expense form, you could attach the form here and create a new approval request and submit it to the proper parties. So I could choose whether or not to allow for custom responses, which means I can write one like yes, I can write no, or I can turn that off and they can write their own responses. When I'm done, I would go ahead and click send. So this is for, I'll also note so that way they don't think this is an actual request. This is for a Microsoft Teams course. And now I'm going to go ahead and click send. So my approval request is being created. Once this is done, we can go ahead and actually look at it, another one that was sent by my coworker, David. And there we go. So here we can see any approvals requested that were sent by me. So in this case, it accidentally created a duplicate. But we have approve request to add a new channel. It went through and who it was requested by and who I sent it to. If I wanted to see the approvals that have been sent to me, I could navigate back here to the received section and look at this. We have one that says please approve. If I was to open this up from David, we would see all of the comments of who approved it and if they made comments. For example, I wrote, today I will live in the moment unless it is unpleasant, in which case I will eat a cookie. Now let's go ahead and jump into the collaboration that you have available with Planner, Project Online, Project for the Web. So I'm going to jump now into the Teams section of Microsoft Teams. So we'll go back to the left navigation. We're going to go to Teams here. So here in the team section are all of the teams that you are a part of. So for example, I'm a part of professional services, Advisicon Inc., our nonprofit services, and our project management team's demo. These teams are built of channels, for example, general, planning, development, testing, and deployment. These channels allow you to separate and organize your apps and your documents into different phases. The standard of what we recommend for our teams and channels would be to have a team per project and then separate it out per phase. However, this can differ per company. Sometimes companies have a lot of projects, and so having that many teams can be a little bit much. So if you do have any questions, feel free to send us an email and we can help you work through that process. In the meantime, let's go up to our general channel and you can see we have these tabs at the top of our channel. So we have posts, files, teams. What comes standard with a channel is just the post files and a tab called Wiki. So I'm going to go to the deployment. This is what you would see standard when you created a new channel. I've gone ahead and customized it a little bit to show you some of the tools that are available in Microsoft Teams. So if I go up to here, files, we can see Team General Notes. This is actually a tab for OneNote where I can store all of my notes related to the project management team's demo team. Anybody who has access to my team can come in and look at the notes that I'm taking. So this is a great tool for taking meeting notes. So if you're doing stand-ups or if you're doing weekly check-ins with your team, you can actually write the notes here and anything that they need to go back and look at is available to them. Next here we have the Teams implementation. So Teams implementation is a planner board. And I'm going to show you in a second how you can be adding these apps to your channels. But you can see in my planner board, this is full, almost full interaction as if I was working with the planner app itself. I have my to-do bucket. I can add a new bucket. I can write a backlog. I have the ability to filter by different things. So let's say I added a couple of tasks, bake cookies, make gluten-free cheesecake. I've actually gotten really into gluten-free items lately. So, and then we will go, say, make ice cream. These are all on my to-do list. And if I gave them different labels, so let's add a label, pink, make gluten-free cheesecake. We're going to give it a label of red, and I'm going to rename that to critical. Just like Planner, you have the ability to filter these items. So if I hit the drop down for filter here, I can go look at different labels. I can look for critical, make gluten-free cheesecake. And I can rearrange these just like you can in Planner. Additionally, you can be tracking different issues. So if I wanted to track issues related to my project before they develop into risks, I can have a list using the new app that has been released by Microsoft called Lists. In this case, we have one built out where the first issue and only issue listed is we ran out of coffee. Obviously, that is a critical item that should be addressed as soon as possible. You can go ahead and click these items and take a look at the details further, but this allows you to keep all of the information related to your project within one location. So right now we have it in one channel and we're able to access our team notes, our planner board, issues related to the project, and the project report pack. So if we open this up here, this is actually Power BI report pack that we use in our environment. So this is a Power BI report pack that lets us look at our portfolio dashboard, our portfolio timeline, all of the projects in one. But I can actually filter it to some more relevant projects. So if I wanted to look at only projects managed by myself, actually, then we can see all of the test projects here that are being managed by me. Other filters can be applied too by expanding the filters pane. So if I wanted to see all projects where their finish date was in a certain range, we could do that as well. This again allows you to keep everything in one location. How you add these apps is by clicking the plus button here up in the tab. This allows you to add different features like the list app that we talked about a minute ago. You can add tasks by planner. You can add OneNote. So if you wanted more than one notebook associated to your team, you could have that. So we're going to jump in now to the planner channel, which is built out for a little bit more of a project management perspective. So here in our tabs, we have project planning. This is another planner board that's associated to our project. It's meant to build out all of the sections of our project from a planning perspective, but also from our other phases as well. And I'll explain why in a second. So we can see all of the tasks assigned. I can go up here to the filter and look at all things just assigned to me, or I can look at all things assigned to Jan and Yane. Another tool that you can use in the channels here is Project Online. So if I wanted to, I could add my Project Online schedule to a tab here in the channel and have access to see it and make changes. So this is a web page app. So if I was to click the plus button over here, I would click the website, and the website would let me enter the link for my project. And then I would be able to add my project to the channel to manage from one location. So I'm going to go ahead, just show you what that looks like, but then we're going to go ahead and jump back. So you can see you would add the tab name here and you would paste the link to your project in this field. You don't have to post to the channel whenever you make changes. That's completely up to you. I'm going to go back now. Another tool that you have access to in Microsoft Teams is Project for the Web. From one channel, I can access my planner board, my project online schedule, and my project for the web schedule. So I can see all of the tasks that I have here. I have brownies for the office. Task 1 would be purchase flour. There we go, purchase flour, get chocolate chips, and other ingredients. So you can manage your projects from this perspective. Now, who can manage your projects varies a little bit per tool. When you are using Planner to manage your tasks, anybody that has access to the team can go into the Planner board from the channel and make changes and updates to it. So if you don't necessarily want everybody going in and making changes to your board, you might want to reassess whether you want it available in a channel that everybody is using. Because anybody who has access to that channel can go in, can make updates, can move tasks around, change buckets, and change filters. For a project online schedule, you can only see the project schedule if you have a Project Plan 3 or a Project Plan 5 license. For Project for the Web, recently it has been made available to everyone to be able to see the project and see the tasks that are assigned, but not everybody can make edits in a Project for the Web schedule. Only people with a Plan 1, Plan 3, or Plan 5 license can go in and make changes to the Project for the Web schedule. A nice thing about the channels and having the planner boards accessible is that you don't have to have the planner board in one channel and one channel only. You can actually have it available in all of the channels within the team. So I mentioned earlier, project planning here has actually all of the phases listed out in the planning board. That's because even though it's named project planning, it actually is available in the other channels as well. So even though this one is focused on planning and requirements gathering, I can focus on development here in my development channel. You'll notice project planning is also located here. So when I click open the tab, I will see that same project and I can focus on phase 2 development, this bucket right here. It's also available in testing. So if I was to go into testing and click the project planning tab, you'll see it's that same planner board available for editing and updating. Okay, so that is the project management tools with Microsoft Teams. Having them together is just such a huge help to keep everything consolidated in one tool. It can be really tough going in and bouncing from one web page to another in order to maintain your schedules. So keeping everything located within one team across several channels keeps everything centralized and easy for you to access. Another thing that could be easier to access through Microsoft Teams are your documents. Each channel comes with a document library. So we'll go here to the deployment for an example. Deployment here has not had any changes made to it. So you'll see it has just the standard 3 tabs, your posts, files, and wiki. This files tab is your document library for the channel. You can see it's just empty. If I was to go to planning, go to files, we can see there's email messages. So you can store anything related to your project by simply dragging and dropping into these document libraries, and it'll store it and make it available to everybody within the project. So if I wanted to graph some documents and drag them in so that I could share them with my coworkers on the project, all I need to do is currently I'm grabbing a file called network diagram and I am dragging it over, and we can see that it's being uploaded to the document library. And so now everybody who has access to the Teams can see that file, and I can send them links to it too. So I can go ahead and click this little icon here. I can copy link. And if I sent this link to one of my coworkers, it would bring them to this location here and open up the file for them. So it gives them quick access to the documents related to our projects. I'm gonna go ahead and hit cancel. These document libraries are also connected to SharePoint. So I am not just limited to seeing these within Teams. So if I wanted to open this up in SharePoint, I can click Open in SharePoint at the top here. So what this does is it opens the document library for my planning channel. I can drag files in here. I can also sync it to my OneDrive. If I wanted to sync my document libraries to my OneDrive, all I need to do is click the sync button here. When I click the sync button, it'll sync this document library for me to be able to access in my File Explorer. So you can see, I'm going to drag my File Explorer up. I already have files that are synced to my Teams channel. So you can see all of these here that are under Advisicon, I have synced using that button. So I've got Academy, Advisicon, templates, PMO, professional services, all of those have been synced by clicking that button. So if I was to go ahead and click sync here, so it's going to sync, and this isn't going to go away until you press the X button. But if I was to open back up my File Explorer, we will see here my project management teams demo / documents. So this is the document library that I was syncing to. That allows you to connect all of your documents within OneDrive and within Microsoft Teams and SharePoint. A huge benefit of syncing all of these files together is that I can now copy paste, move documents just like I would in a normal document library. So just like I would if I had my documents from my desktop open, where I dragged and dropped and moved and add different folders. I can add a folder to the planning folder here. So let's say new folder, and we'll do um, documents. Now this could take a minute, but this folder will show up in my Teams channel. So if I open that back up, we go to planning, then we're going to hit the refresh button up here. You can see I have two new folders. I accidentally added one on top of the project related documents. But this syncs with the Teams channel and allows you to have everything easily accessible in one location. You'll notice in this channel, there's a folder called email messages. That didn't come up just on its own. That came because I utilize the function of get email address for a channel. So if I had a long string of emails related to a project that I actually wanted to store and keep in case I needed a reference later, and I didn't want to hunt through my emails, I could take that email chain and actually forward it to this channel. How you would do that is by going to the channel here and clicking the three ellipses. You can get email address and you can paste this in who you're sending it to. And so when you have this email, you'll forward it and then you'll paste this email address into that forwarding field and then you'll send, and it'll send that entire email chain into the email messages folder here. Last thing I want to touch on is what you're seeing in your lists. And by lists, I mean your document libraries or the other SharePoint lists that are associated here. I'm going to go to Files here and Planning, and I'm going to open in SharePoint because you can change what views you're seeing here in the document library by clicking this drop down for all documents, but I haven't created any customized views. So I don't really want to go in and click different options because I haven't made any. So what I'm going to do first is open in SharePoint. From here, I could actually add different columns. So what we're going to do is go ahead and add an existing column that's in the document library into a new view. So to do that, what I'm going to do is click the drop down for create a new view. I'm going to name this make a public views, correct, and create. Right now, this is just a pretty standard document status title, add columns. I'm going to go in and customize this now. So I'm going to hit the drop down. I'm going to edit current view. and I'm going to go in and make some changes. I don't want either of these titles because they weren't necessarily displaying anything interesting to me. I'm going to go to grab the name linked to document, grab created by, modified by, and we'll grab version. Once I'm done choosing the columns that I want, I'll scroll down, click OK, and this saves this to my view. Now, I might want to look at rearranging the different columns that we have here. I can do that by dragging. I can move things around. But you can see here that all of the documents that have been uploaded are version 1. So if I was to go in and make changes to the document, it would make it a version 2. And so you can actually be tracking your versions in the document library instead of having multiple different copies of the file, each with a different name of version 1, 2, 3. So you can be tracking versions by just simply making these columns available in your view. So if I went back to Microsoft Teams and I just click the little refresh button up here, I could actually go and hit the drop down and see versions. These are just folders. Well, some of them are folders. You can see we have email messages, project related documents, and network diagram. And we can see that all of these are versions. If I wanted to expand them, I just click the name, and it sticks with my versions view. I could also hit the drop down and go to all documents. All right, our last tip today, we're going to talk about a little bit of personal cleanup that can help keep your view clean and orderly. So, the nice thing about channels and teams is you can choose whether or not you want to see them or not. So, you might be part of 10 or 15 different teams, but you might not need them every day. So, what you could do is if you didn't want to see a team all the time, is click the little ellipses next to the name of the team and choose to hide it. If you hide it, it'll no longer be visible in your current view. The same applies for different channels. We're going to go to deployment here. So if I didn't want to see deployment, I'm going to click the 3 ellipses and I'm going to hide. If I hide it, now one channel is hidden, but I don't have to worry about it. So if I have 5 or 10 channels that I don't necessarily want to see currently, I could hide them and then have the 2 or 3 that I use constantly visible to me. Today, we got to talk about why use Microsoft Teams, some new features that are available, the collaboration that you can do with the project management tools that Microsoft has all within Teams together. We talked about file storage in Teams, how you can be keeping all of your files in one location. Anybody with access to those teams will have access to those files, which makes for easy collaboration and sharing. And then some additional features in Teams for project management. So we got to talk about Power BI, how it was an app, how you can pull in reports, all using that plus button for the tab. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope you have a wonderful day.